Hello, I am Bethany Warnches, real estate agent with Addison Jones, and you are watching Tuesday Talks with Bethany, where I cover real estate FAQs. So today I am going to be talking about what costs are involved in selling your home. We know commissions involved, that's the obvious, but what other costs are out there as well? And this will not be an all-inclusive list, but it's going to give you a better general idea of some of the other costs involved. But before I jump into that, I just want to ask you a question about landscaping. So my husband and I are planning to redo our landscaping in the front of our house, and we are just trying to figure out what exactly we want to put there. We thought we had a plan, but now we're kind of rethinking that. So I'm just looking for suggestions of small trees and shrubs that you love for your landscaping. If you just want to drop that in the comments, feel free. So let's jump into the costs involved in selling your home. So like I said, obvious one is commission. We all know that. But what about the taxes for the year? Who pays for those when you sell your house in the middle of the year? So say, for example, your closing date is June 15th. So you lived in the house from January 1st to June 14th. So what you're going to do is you are going to give the buyer a credit at closing for the time that you lived in the house. And then the buyer will take care of the tax bill at the end of the year. But really you're splitting it. They're getting a credit from you, and then they'll take care of the whole thing at the end. What about a home inspection? Well, a buyer is responsible for paying for their home inspection and any follow-up inspections. But what if any repairs come up that have to get taken care of? Or what if there is a seller credit or repair credit? Well, then that would be a cost for you as a seller if you agree to do those repairs. What about well and septic if you live in the country? Unlike the home inspection, it is not automatically paid for by the buyer. Who is going to pay for that inspection is pre-negotiated in the offer. So that could be an expense. And then again, do any repairs come up that are necessary for the well and septic? So that could be another cost as well. Now, a buyer may ask for a home warranty. You as a seller can decide if you want to accept that and keep that in the offer and pay for that, or if you decide that you're going to counter that out. But if you do agree to pay for one for the buyer, that is another cost. And another thing in the offer is radon. So if a buyer decides to test for radon, they are going to pay for that test. But what if it tests high? Well, in the offer again, it is pre-negotiated who is going to pay for a radon mitigation system. So whether it's seller, buyer, you're splitting it, whatever. But it may be a cost to you if you have agreed to pay for some of that. Next up is staging. So last week I had Anna Toman with me from Flair Home Staging, and she can come in and help you get your house ready for sale. And if you have a home stager, then that will be another cost for you as well. Finally, I'm going to talk about some different closing costs. So you as a seller pay for a buyer's title policy. That's just the standard in Wisconsin. And then if there is any special assessment, so say 2 weeks prior to listing your house, you got a letter in the mail that taxed you for the 4 squares of sidewalk that were getting redone in the front of your house. So any special assessments for your street, your neighborhood, prior to an offer being written that you've been taxed. My a connection. Okay, so what I was saying about special assessments, if you've been taxed for it already or the work has started, then as a seller, you'll have to take care of that. Then another obvious cost would be your mortgage that you are going to be paying off at closing. And then if there's any other liens or judgments that you have, then you will need to take care of those as well, because free and clear title is guaranteed in Wisconsin. You will also need to pay for the recording of the deed. There is a tax called a transfer tax when you transfer the property. The gap endorsement can be paid by buyer or seller, but could be a cost to you. And then there is just your typical closing fee as well. So I hope this helps you understand that when you do sell your property, there is more than just commission and paying off your mortgage involved. As agents, we can sit down and do seller net sheets with you to help you gain a better understanding of what you are going to net. But we can't, necessarily predict what repairs we're going to run into in the middle of the transaction. But we can help you get a better idea of what will be going on. So thanks for watching today, and feel free to join me next week where I talk about selling and buying at the same time.